bamboozled you, and you have run amok. For you to be outside of it, just down the street from a hospital, where people are dying of the coronavirus plague, and doctors are crying and pleading and begging with you, begging you to stay home for Thanksgiving, and you go out without a mask and everything else, going into the airports and bus terminals and everything, you're going to go anyway. One of the doctors said that either you can have a Thanksgiving at home and stay where you are, or you will have a Christmas under a ventilator in the hospital, in the ICU. Now let me tell you people something. You don't want to be in anybody's ICU ever in your life. If you have any sense whatsoever, you don't want to be in anybody's ICU. Never. That's just the ICU. I'm not even talking about the ventilator. Most people who have gone into the ventilators, they have died. Most. And if they did come out, they didn't come out the same, and they'll never be the same. According to Channel 6 News, former pastor Nicholas Harris of First United Methodist Church died of the coronavirus plague after showing symptoms after a Bible study. I just told you earlier that today, a great Christian doctor is advising churches not to even have in-person meetings until the summer. That's even with the vaccine supposedly coming out. And let me say again, people who should be sounding very strong about the vaccine, they're straining. They are straining and they are struggling. Even Dr. Fauci, he's trying to sound strong, but it's shaky. Something is shaky going on. Okay? And some of the side effects I've already heard about. I don't want them. Especially at my age. I don't want nothing like that messing with my body. Then they don't know if it's going to come back. They don't know if you're going to have to get another shot or 2 or 3 yet. They don't know. The head of one of the vaccines said today or yesterday that we don't know that if the person gets the shot, whether or not they can still transmit the disease. I said, what? What are you talking about? I thought the vaccine was going to take care of that. All of that. According to WIBW News, Pastor Mike Schinkel of the Open Way Church and staff members at the Topeka Rescue Mission and staff member of the Topeka Rescue Mission died of the coronavirus plague. According to NBC News, number 64, channel 64, cases have been linked, pardon me, according to NBC News, you back up on that, 64 cases have been linked to Awaken Church in San Diego, California. 64 cases. He said, well, preacher, what ought they to do? They ought not to meet again face to face. And I've told you people, I don't care who your pastor is, I would not do it. I would not recommend your going to the church house right now. You don't have to. One of the reasons why you shouldn't is because the plague is against the church, whether you like it or not, because of our abominations and sins and compromises. In the white church and in the black church, the red church and yellow church, God is not pleased, and I believe Jesus has spewed much of the church out of his mouth, because you're not cold or hot, and you're not even lukewarm. You're just full of sin and evil and disrespect. Disrespect towards God. It's a very easy decision. Now, if the pastor wants to go to the church, as I've said all year long, he can go. And he can take his wife with him to help him set up the camera. Take his children, his family. And they ought to go every day. They ought to be seen by the church praying, fasting, and preaching every day. I believe every preacher who's called by God in this plague pandemic ought to be preaching every day online. Connecting with your church family and beyond. And if you do it right, quite frankly, the worship experience will be absolutely wonderful. And in fact, it will probably, in many cases, with many people, be more intimate, especially with your introverted people who don't even want to be around a whole bunch of people in the first place. It'll be a more intimate situation. Many people have found this. Even the NFL, when they had the NFL draft, found it to be very intimate. And the guy said they're going to do it again. And by the way, the NFL does not even have fans. Most of them don't have any real fans out there. If they do, they're all spaced out all over the place. Don't go to the church building. Go to church every day, but don't go to the church building, people. Right now, don't do that. No pastor should want the blood of a church member on his hands. One pastor foolishly told the people, "Go ahead on and get the COVID-19 and get it over with." That's what he said today. Come on, people. That's dumb. That's dumb. According to ABC News, 10 choir members of Reedley Mennonite Brethren Church in Reedley, California, have contracted the coronavirus plague. According to People News magazine, the coronavirus outbreak at United House of Prayer for All People in Charlotte, North Carolina, has been linked to 12 deaths and more than 213 cases. I said 12 deaths and 213 cases. Okay, if you don't want to believe the cases, believe the deaths. Nobody is playing here, people. This is serious business. When people are serious business, again, either somebody's lying or somebody's telling the truth. What part of this you don't understand? And the truth of the matter is, some of you people, you love a politician more than you love Jesus. You love a politician more than you ever loved Jesus. You got Christian ministers out here talking about, "I'll die for the cause of this president," and intelligent people who wrote books, people who have written books, talking stupid like this. One politician thought, it's okay if I die for the economy. We got to get this economy going again. Where in the world are you getting this from? Black and white people, you love your politicians more than you love Jesus. You just got to worship somebody you can see, don't you? They're an idol to you. It's demonic, people. According to the St. Albans Messenger News, several cases have